This here is a papercraft of one of the entities in Lethal Company, the loot bug. While this game sports some terrifying creatures... Oh! It also has a few that are pretty cute, in their own weird, low polygon way. My favorite one is the loot bug. The funny sounds they make both when walking and talking are always a blast. Also their face of perpetual shock is something that just never stops being funny. Being one of the less deadly creatures, it's always a relief when you find them instead of something else. Not that they are pushovers though. If you take their stuff or get too close to their comfort zone, they will fight back.
Ja, hier. I wanna smash. Kom hier! Boom! Yeah. Whoa!
Ow!
Whoa!
Ow!
Whoa! Oh yeah.
For this papercraft I wanted to make it a bit on the smaller side, mainly because compared to a human they are not that large. Also there was still a spot on my shelf where it would fit really nicely. Normally I start designing from the torso and then go down and then go up. But because the balancing point for a loot bug is different than for a humanoid design, I started from the bottom and worked my way up. In game the loot bug holds itself up with these two chopsticks it calls legs. For the papercraft however, its weight must be centralized to keep it from falling over. To achieve this it will balance on the legs and its rear instead of standing solely on its legs. The goal for the first test build was to make sure that the foundation is solid, as I don't want it to fall forwards or backwards. The first test build came out very nicely. It looks like its source material and it's structurally sound. The only adjustment made was that the legs were made a bit shorter, as putting it down naturally would angle it too far up. Still being confident from the successful first build, I decided to immediately design the papercraft in its entirety. Even more daringly, I decided that for the segments that have multiple parts connected to it, to eyeball the size instead of making complicated calculations. Also because the papercraft is on the smaller size, the entire thing fits on one sheet of paper. How did it turn out after cutting these corners? Surprisingly well. It mostly looked like it is supposed to. Beside the eyes, which warranted a complete redesign, everything else just needed some length or angle adjustments. The two upper sections were not long enough, so they got a length increase. Oppositely, the arms are too long. So long in fact that it messes with the balance of the papercraft, making it fall forward and making it look like it's praying to the loot gods. The antenna on the head bent forward too quickly, so that was also adjusted by removing the angle on the second section of the antenna. Lastly, I want to mention that not truly every part fits on one piece of paper. The wings it has on its back were made from a plastic container that were used for grapes. I cut one side out, cleaned it, and then cut it into the shapes of the wings. Hello. While editing the segment showing the loot bug in game, I noticed that it has double wings on both sides, not the singular ones I gave to papercraft, so yeah, I suppose I got that wrong. Side note, when one of the legs broke while making this test build, I noticed that you can move the legs around, when only the bottom section is connected to the rest of the leg. While this looks funny, it serves no purpose if it's just going to stand on the shelf. Plus it would make it structurally more fragile. After the third revision we are looking at the final version. All the previously mentioned adjustments were successfully implemented, besides one thing: the eyes. I have made 4 versions before I made the final version where I'm content with. The 5th versions are the eyes that are attached to the finished version. I could have tinkered a bit more with them, but I did not know how to make them look better while keeping the rest of the papercraft the same size. So for the sake of my own sanity and wanting to work on other projects, I decided to leave it like this. I am quite happy with how it turned out. I was a bit nervous when I started designing this one, as I mostly do humanoid designs. But this was a good way to practice and I am happy with the results. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it.